I'm Alex. I'm a junior at Emmaus High School. My life before Christ, to sum it up, felt empty in a sense that I looked to material things and stuff that isn't fully fulfilling for happiness. My freshman and sophomore year, I put my value and everything, all my attention I had, into basketball and hanging out with the friends that I would make through basketball. And over time, I started to feel empty, and it wasn't enough, and I wasn't always happy with the way things were going, and I didn't know why, because I was doing things that I thought I enjoyed. Nothing was ever enough to fulfill that, to make me happy all the time, and I wasn't getting enjoyment completely out of the thing that I put everything I had to in. All my value was in basketball, and I thought that's what would bring me happiness at all times. And towards the end of my sophomore year, I wasn't doing any of my schoolwork, so I was almost failing out of school. My dad wasn't very happy with the fact that my grades were so low. So I got the opportunity to go to New Jersey and move in with my uncle. And I decided to take that chance because I realized that things weren't adding up adding up in a way that I liked them. I wasn't happy really anymore, and I started to realize that my friends that I was with at the time might not have been the best influences on me in my life as to schoolwork or decisions I would make about going to a party, or even the way I treated people. And that's really when the emptiness hit an all-time low, because when I went to Jersey, I thought I'd be able to start over and make new friend groups. And when I did get there, I realized that there were things there that weren't perfect. People there were involved in drugs, and I was on the basketball team there, and drugs were still a big thing on the basketball team, and I didn't want to get involved with the wrong group of people. And towards the end of the year, I thought to myself that maybe it wasn't the best decision to come to Jersey and start over and repeat a year and make new friends, because it can be hard in high school to fit in sometimes. I was home for spring break, and I got invited to my first Young Life Club by my friend Matt. I texted him that night asking what we were going to do to hang out after he got back from lacrosse practice, and he texted me back saying that there were 60 people coming over, just come over, and I wasn't going to not go. So I went, not knowing what it was, not knowing what to expect. So I showed up around 7:30, and there was a sea of kids there, and I didn't know any of them. Went down to the basement, sang a couple songs, which at the time I wasn't comfortable with because I wasn't an outgoing person. Sam's dad actually gave a talk for a little while about who Jesus is, and I didn't listen to the talk 100%. I listened to this background story he told that he related, but I didn't actually listen to the scripture that he read because at the time it was almost irrelevant to me. I didn't understand it. But going to club, I then signed up for camp that night after one club, not knowing what camp even was. And when I was at camp, they gave talks at a club, at a bigger club than we had. And they started talking about who Jesus was, and that's when I started listening to the talks, because everybody there was paying attention to it. A lot of people there seemed like they were there for a reason, and they were listening intently, so I decided to listen and not stare into space and like I would in school, just actually pay attention. So I started to listen to the stories they would tell, and who the speaker would relate stuff that happened in her life previously when she was younger. And I applied some of that to myself, especially when she started talking about emptiness and filling your life with things that don't add up or don't truly make you happy. She would talk about the way people look and how people want to look, or how cool somebody is because they do something. And for me, I thought, playing basketball, that's where I got my happiness from. But even that wasn't working. I saw the way my friends that were at camp with me cared about me and Jesus, and it seemed that something they were doing and something around the atmosphere of camp clicked within my head that something must be going on in their lives that I'm missing. So then, at that point in time, I decided to start my relationship with Christ. And since then, I've truly seen that last year in Jersey with my uncle was like a blessing in disguise, in the sense that I wasn't happy, and it made me realize that I wasn't getting happiness out of basketball, and it wasn't just friend groups that I needed to put like an importance on, or influences. That I came home and I now had like a relationship with Christ, and I knew that I always had someone to talk to, and I don't feel alone, and it's helped me to see that there's a reason to everything that's gone on. I also now realize that I can spread the word of Christ to my other friends who could end up with the same message that I received from the friends who cared about me, and return what I got from my friends, and through God working through my friends to get to me, God's working through me to now reach out to other people